Welcome to the call, you guys. I am absolutely loving this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. Had to get over the title, but I'm over it now, and I'm pumped about what I'm learning. And this week especially, I gave this, again, this guy likes to throw around some bad words, and one of my goals is not to swear. Not always good at it, but so I retitled this chapter to the lies we tell ourselves, because I think I can even catch myself after 19 years in this business of believing a lie, and I've got to catch myself saying, why am I telling myself that? Because that's not true. And our mind, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was saying that our mind doesn't acknowledge what's truth and not truth. It takes in what we tell it. And so as we talk about these lies that we can easily tell ourselves in regard to our business, make note of it and really bring it to mind and stop yourself, because your body will live out what you're telling your mind. And so let's make sure what we're telling our mind are things that we want to happen. Okay? So, and I don't mean for this to sound like any new agey mumbo jumbo. I mean, because if you're a Bible reader, it talks about renewing your mind. It talks about putting in what is true, what is honest, what is pure, So I'm here to tell you, whether you're looking from a secular standpoint or a spiritual standpoint, it all comes back the same. And if you guys aren't on mute, let's mute now, and then we'll unmute when we're done recording. Okay, so let's jump in, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And let me see. Let me stop the share for a second. Pull up what I want. And then, sorry guys, it's taking me a little longer than usual to get us up and rolling. Okay, so let's get into these lies that Rami brought up in her book. Number one is, I don't have time for this. And she makes it here. Okay, someone still needs to put their mute on. I hear papers rustling. So check and make sure you got mute on. What you're really saying is, I haven't made this a priority. That's what she has in the comments. If we're telling ourselves, oh my gosh, I don't have time to work this business, what we're saying is this business is not a priority. And I'm thinking of everybody on this call. If you're on this call, my guess is you do want to make this Juice Plus business your priority. So make sure that you aren't telling yourself subconsciously that you don't have time. Okay, I'm still hearing it. Someone's going to get a spanking. I'm going to stop the share for a minute and see who's not muted. All right, that's good. Okay, so back to where we were. When you think about this, if you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time, stop saying that. And think about, I do have time because I'm efficient with my time. I am recording my time. I'm tracking my time. I'm working toward a goal. And so what you're telling yourself is that you do have time to make this business a priority. So let's really talk to ourselves and get the right verbiage going on in our head. Number two, she said, people say, I'm talking to enough people. When in reality, okay, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Let me go back to point number one, because she had some great points here. And she said, even she, Rami, who's making over $1 million, she said, I have to catch myself and make sure that I'm not telling myself I don't have enough time, when in reality, what's happening is I'm wasting my time. And she said, here's how I waste it. I check Facebook. She said, I check email. She said, I just thought about, I need to make an appointment to get a blowout for my hair. She said, I just got up and got myself some iced tea. I updated my grocery list. I RSVP'd to a party, and I went to the bathroom. And then she said, too much iced tea. You guys, that's the kind of stuff. And what I love about Teamzy because we think we're working, and we'd say we were working amongst all that stuff she did. But that's where I love where Teamsy has that power hour where literally you sit down and you know the people you're going to talk to that day, and you don't do anything but make those phone calls, schedule those appointments with those people, send those text messages, whatever you have to do. So work in those power hours. I'm really realizing that when I do that, I eliminate this stuff that she's talking about in the book that we all do, but yet we book it up and talk it up as work. Okay, number 2, she also said, okay, let me keep camping out on this. I don't have enough time. Then she said, what does a true working time look like? Reaching out and talking to people about the product in the business, training your new people, doing 3-way calls, strategizing with your runners. And she goes on to say what the runners are. These aren't just, oh, I got someone new, but these are truly people who were booking it. These would be the people who I would say are fast tracking and express tracking. You want to stick with them like glue. And then praising and recognizing people when they've done great. So that's what a productive time looks like doing. All right, number 2, I'm not talking to enough people. You guys, when I talk to someone who is frustrated that they don't feel like their business is moving along, when I ask them this question, how many people have you talked to? Then that's when reality sets in. And when you keep hearing me preach, let's track your activity, track your activity, track your activity. This is the reason, because we always think we're doing way more than what we really are. And so she says, kind of back to what we hear Wendy Campbell talking about, she calls it the 5-3-2 method, 5-3-2 method. So what she does is she talks to 5 prospects a day, 3, let me see what she's saying, 5 prospects a day, 3 follow-ups a day, and 2 distributors a day. So she's talking to 10 people a day. So if you want to make $1 million a year, like Rami is, are you talking to 10 people a day? And thank you to those of you who are posting in our chat. Here's what my accountability. I had some like all-day meetings 2 days last week, so it knocked me out, and I really didn't have the numbers I wanted, and quite frankly, I didn't want to post them because they weren't what I wanted them to be. But I'm telling you what, posting those numbers of mine really kicked me in gear today to say, I'm not going to have a bad week this week. It's going to be a record-breaking week. So track your numbers, hold yourself accountable by posting it, and at least be connecting with 10 people a day. 10 people a day. All right. So number 3, I've recruited enough people. You know what? I am a national marketing director. And when I read what this gal's done, I wanted to say, no wonder I'm not making $1 million a year. I'm not making $500,000 a year. Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to put the right recording in. Listen to this. She said, I challenge you to commit to bringing on 25 people in the next 6 months. 25 people in the next 6 months. So what would that be? 3 6s are 18, 4 6s are 24. So that's 4 new distributors a month. Is anybody on here doing 4 new distributors? I can't see everybody. Anybody raising their hand? So what she's figured out is if we want the success like she is seeing, it is all about bringing people on to her team. And then I guarantee, she said we recruited at least 100 people in our first 2 years. Wow. Wow. I don't know that I personally have recruited 100 people in the last 19 years. So that tells me why I'm not in her category yet. All right. So ask yourself, are you believing any of these 3 to be true about yourself? If so, I want you to start posting, yes, number 1's an issue, number 2's an issue, number 3. Identify any of the lies you're telling yourself. Okay, so now the next one, Number 4, am I coachable? I am coachable, but nothing's happening. I'm coachable, but nothing's happening. And here's what she said. Here's how you check yourself if this is a lie you're telling yourself. She said, are you really talking to enough people? What do you say, 10 people a day? Are you talking to 10 people a day? Are you leading with the business and then defaulting to the products? That's probably something I'm having a hard time really totally embracing. So that's probably an area, not probably, that's an area I need to get better at. Number 3, he's saying picking up the phone. Are you picking up the phone? How many of us are hiding behind a text or an email? I gotta be, I don't feel like I hide. I do it because I think it's more efficient, but really is it? I probably am it's gonna be more powerful. Whoever's in their car needs to be put on. Oh, hold on, I see who it is. Okay. Picking up the phone and letting people hear your voice, you guys, that's going to be a powerful, much more powerful. Now, granted, what if we start by phone and default to text or email? Kind of like how she says, start with the business and default to the product or asking for referrals. What if we start with a phone call or a face-to-face meeting and then default to a text or an email? Let's really try to do that this week and see if we get some more powerful results if we do that. Okay, number 4, she says, are you being consistent? When you look at your Teamsy or your spreadsheet or however you're tracking your activity, are you working this business every single day? Yes or no? This is what we're doing is saying, are we truly being coachable? And then number 5, are you touching your business every day? Are you touching it every single day? Even if you got something big going on, you can still make a phone call here or a phone call there, just to keep, 1, to be an example to your team, but 2, just to keep your mind rolling, top of mind, top of mind, top of mind. And then number 6, are you having faith in the 3-way calls? You know what? I need to start doing 3-way calls. You know, I've never been taught to do it. I tell you guys to do it, but that wasn't something in the beginning. But there's still value of me pulling other people in, even at this stage of the game. Bringing a third party in brings about validation. So whether it be making sure I always give someone a video or an audio, at least do that to bring that third party in. And if you're bringing someone into the business, make sure you do a 3-way with your upline. All right, and then the last thing under this being coachable, are you working on what's between your ears every day? The fact that you guys are on this call, check. You're coachable when it comes to really building your own belief and development. Number 5, I've got a superstar. What happens a lot of times is we do get somebody good, and so we either let off thinking, oh my gosh, I've waited on this person, they can kind of carry me. Subconsciously we think that, or we got one person, so we're investing all our time in this one person because we finally got somebody who's interested in the business. Yes, we want to lock arms with them. Yes, we want to give them the support, but don't fall into this trap of all of a sudden they're where 100% of your energy is going. We still have to keep reaching out to those 10 people a day, 5 new prospects, 3 follow-ups, and 2 distributors. So don't fall into that lie or that trap of number 5. Number 6, I can only sell the products. You know, I hear people say this a lot. Well, I'm really passionate about the product, but I don't feel comfortable telling people about the business. You guys, I think it was Bob Burdick made that comment that he said, if you want, customers are addition to your paycheck, but distributors are like multiplication to your paycheck. So if you want to build a nice income stream, get good at presenting the business just as well as you can present the product. And it's the same process. So I think that is truly a lie, that if you can sell Juice Plus, you can sell this business. You're telling yourself you can't. Now, if you're having trouble getting customers, then you're probably going to have trouble getting distributors too. But if you're getting customers, then think about what's the lie I'm telling myself that subconsciously is coming through to people when I begin to share the business. Sometimes it's our subconscious hangups that's holding us back, and other people pick up on it before we even pick up on it on ourselves, because maybe we're not as confident. We don't portray, oh my gosh, when we're talking about the product, you have got to try Juice Plus. And then when we go to present the business, you interested in maybe making a little extra income? What a difference. But what if we said, oh my gosh, you have to jump on board with me. This is so fun. You're going to love the community of people I get to lock arms with. Are you just as excited about the business when you're talking to people as what you are the products, or do you kind of shy away? If you're shying away, what do I always say? That's when you need to lean in and be excited all the more. All right. So now those three more, think about it. Any of those three, are they lies you're telling yourself? Okay, number 7, you don't need to do 3-way calls. I'm here to tell you, each and every one of us have gifts, abilities, and we connect well with certain people. I don't connect well with everybody, nor do you. So think about when you need doing these 3-way calls, who would really connect with them? You know, we all have, if you think about it, all the way up. I've got 5 generations up. I have Judy Blue, Sandy Leonard, Dr. Du Bois. And then somewhere Bob Burdick's up that. All those people make money off of me. You've got 5 people going up from where you are. You got 5 people to connect with and tap into. And you're doing a 3-way call, you're trying to introduce this business to someone, who's going to resonate best with that new person that you want to bring on board? Utilize your entire upline. They're getting paid off of you. Why not utilize them? All right? So don't tell yourself you don't need 3-way calls. Think about who would be great with this person that you want them to hear their story. All right, number 8, a lie. Don't have the right network. Anybody say that? Oh, I don't know enough people, or, you know, the people I'm connecting with. Here's what I'm learning. Every time I look at that one document that goes with the DMO that has a list of just like hundreds of different people. Have you thought about this person? Have you thought about that? I'm telling you what, every time I'm getting ready to present that in Birmingham, and I read through it again, and I literally grabbed a piece of paper because I started thinking of people every time I read that document. You guys, if you don't like your current network, go build another one. There's no limit to how big you can build your network. And literally Saturday night, we had a couple over to our house. They just moved here from Detroit. This gal is so sharp. I'm telling you what, I had the best conversations. Did I talk about Juice Plus? We talked about business. We talked about sales models because she's got a business background. I was just dying to jump into Juice Plus, and I was holding myself back saying, no, hear from her. You know, I'm trying to remember all the stuff we're learning on these calls. Right as we left, you guys, what happened is I was showing my dog Maggie, if y'all have seen her do her little one pony trick or one dog trick, where I went and I thought, I'm going to talk about Juice Plus somehow if it kills me. I got out the gummies and I put a gummy on her nose, and she throws it up in the air and eats it. And then immediately the lady goes, what's that? And I said, this is what I'm doing now. It's Juice Plus. I've done it now for 20 years. I love it. They're literally walking out the door, and she's picking up the package and looking at it. So you guys, this gal is now my number one person. I can't wait to expose her. But okay, I got off track there. But what I want to get back to is this network. I've just met someone new simply by having her and her husband over for dinner. Her husband works with my husband. And so she's just moved here from Detroit. So I'm here to tell you, we are all young enough to build new networks. I don't know anybody who lives in Detroit, but I'm going to work my best with this gal to hopefully meet a bunch of people in Detroit and bring this gal on board. So anyway, okay. So that should never be an excuse. We're not dead, so we can build new networks. Number 9, I don't want to be that person to run from. You guys, the other day I got a customer. You know how I got that customer? I knew her through a mutual friend. I saw her when I was out shopping. I was buying something from her, and we got talking. I said, "Aren't you friends with so-and-so?" And she was like, yes. She goes, "I've heard Amy talk about you." And she said, "Don't you sell Juice Plus?" I said, "I do. Do you need some Juice Plus?" She goes, "I do." You guys, that's how easy. Now, if I have some of these other lives, but I don't have this one. I want people to know me by the Juice Plus lady. People don't run from you unless you're a jerk about it. They run to you. So you want them to think of you as the Juice Plus person, because look how easy that was to get a customer. Okay, number 10, I don't want to work from appointment to appointment because I don't want to be pushy. And when she's talking about appointment to appointment, remember Eric Worre uses the verbiage from exposure to exposure. So as soon as, literally this morning already, I've thought of, oh gosh, her name is Kyra. I thought of Kyra, and I thought, okay, so we had him over for dinner. What's my next step? So my next step is today, when I get off this call, I'm going to send her a text and say, "Oh my gosh, how much fun I loved, and I really like this gal. You're my kind of person. You've got energy, and I'm going to tell her what I like about her. I am going to keep this going." And so think about, are you truly going from exposure to exposure, appointment to appointment? What's next? What's next with that person? What's next with that person? What's next with that person? I think if I reworded that number 10, I'd say, let's go from next to next to next to next. Do not finish up with someone until you've got a next on the calendar somehow, some way with that person. And to say that's pushy, I say it's being someone who's intentional about creating relationships. I'm not going to talk about, when I send this text message, Juice Plus probably will not be in that message. But what am I doing? I'm creating another exposure. I'm deepening the relationship. All right, number 11, this should be easier. You guys, I loved, when I first got started in this business, Judy Blue said to me, "Elaine, if you will give this business 1 year of your life where you give it 100%, you'll never have to work that hard again." And I'm telling you what, I do it now because I absolutely love it. But she was right. It takes work. This is a business, and it's fun, and we forget sometimes that it's a business, but we have to treat this like a business. And I don't know anything that I've ever gotten that I've appreciated, that I've loved, that I've wanted, that I didn't have to work for. Not a whole lot's been gifted to us. So don't expect it to be easy. What's that one saying? Jim Rohn says, "Don't ask for things to be easier, ask to get better," or something along those lines. Let's get better. Let's not dumb it down and try to make it easy. Let's lean into it and develop our skills. All right, last 3 lies we tell ourselves. I don't have what it takes to be a leader. This is the beautiful thing. Leadership is a skill. Skills are learned behaviors. Yes, some of us may have some natural ability in that realm, but as a whole, becoming a leader is a skill. So you guys, if we're going to develop and build big businesses, it's going to require us to step into a leadership role. And being on this call, kudos to you, because what are you doing? You're building your leadership ability. Because what you do is turn around and not only apply this information, but you turn around and teach your team the same. Teach them these, make sure when you're having your conversations with them, you see these lies they're telling themselves and call them out on it. Not in a bad way, but as Scott always says, turn on the lights. Don't turn on the heat. Turn on the lights and help them see lies that maybe they're believing that's just not true. Number 13, I will make mistakes. I'm just no good at this. I'm going to make mistakes. Yes, and you want to make mistakes because that's how you learn. Eric Worre talks about the more mistakes I make, the quicker I get to how to do it right. So if you're making mistakes, it means you're just doing the activity it takes to become a professional. Or I think about that one book that we read several years ago, and it was called, I think it was Outliers, that said 10,000 hours makes us a professional. So all I'm doing with these mistakes is I'm logging in the time till I become a professional. And then number 14, it's saturated where I live. It just doesn't work here. Anybody heard that one? Anybody saying that to themselves? You guys, that's just a sheer lie. That's a lie. You want to know something? There's over 50 national marketing directors in the Atlanta metro area. And I still can get 5 customers a month if I work at it. It doesn't matter. Do you have 50 national marketing directors in your metro area? My guess is no. I think we're probably the most saturated. I still literally, have talked to people last week who've never heard about Juice Plus. What's Juice Plus? So there's our 14 lies. All right, I'm going to shut this down and let's talk about the lies that we're telling ourselves.